How do? Yeah, fine, thank you. I thought, I've bought a couple of games lately. I've got, I think it's like a pile of like 7 here. I thought that's enough for a pickup, surely. So I thought I'd just do a little pickups video, just show you all I'm not dead. I've been a bit quiet lately. I'm just kind of lost interest in everything. I've not even been on Instagram much. I've been sort of watching the odd bit of YouTube now and then, but not really sort of commenting or like anything like that. I've not been liking or commenting stuff on Instagram. I've just been having the odd like flick through. But yeah, I'm still alive. I'm just really into gaming at the minute, and I'm more so than usual. It's like I mean, I've always loved Sims 4, but I've been like really, really obsessed with Sims 4 lately, and playing that all the time on the Ally, and yeah, just enjoying gaming again. I've sort of let it go by the wayside a little bit, and I've just been plowing through some games. So yeah, I am still about. I am still planning on doing this. I'm not giving up already again. But yeah, I've bought a few things. Nothing too retro. It's all kind of modern stuff. So if you're just looking for retro stuff, then see you later, I guess. Unless you're classing Evercade as retro, in which case there are some new cartridges to that. I'll start with those actually. This first one is one that I was so like excited for when they announced it, and that is the Legacy of Kain collection with Blood Omen Legacy of Kain and Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Two of my absolute favourite games from the PS1. Probably two of my favourite games of all time. Definitely one of, if not the number one franchise for me of all time is Legacy of Kain. And yeah, I was so excited when I found out about this. And then typically, because like Crystal Dynamics is a massive signing for Evercade, it's just like huge having these and the Tomb Raider games on the system. Like back in the day, these were like system shifter games, and technically more impressive than anyone thought the Evercade could handle at first. So yeah, massive signing for Evercade is Crystal Dynamics, because even the bigger signings I had before, like Capcom and Namco, they're not really interested in bringing out them sort of 32-bit games. It's all 8-bit shit. Not shit, so they are still good games, but it's all been 8-bit stuff and 16-bit stuff. So yeah, really great that they can tap into some of the proper AAA 32-bit stuff. But just like with the Tomb Raider stuff, with the Tomb Raider collection that they brought out, the minute this was announced, they also a couple of weeks later announced a Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2 HD remaster collection thing for the modern consoles, which kind of puts this like, why would I play this when I can just wait for those? I think it's with that though, that's Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and this is Blood Omen and Soul Reaver, so technically there's no Blood Omen on the other one, so that's if you want to play it on a modern system, that this is the way to go. I do think it is coming out digitally in the PS5 though as well, just the original game, but on the PlayStation now, is it? I don't know. I'm rambling a bit, can you tell I've not done this for a while? I am going to play through these. While I've acknowledged that the Tomb Raider collection is great, but then shelved it because the physical version of the Tomb Raider remaster trilogy is coming out, and I'm hoping to get it for Christmas, and I want to play it remastered there and then. With this, there's been no announcement of the remasters for Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2 in a physical sense yet, so I think I am going to still play through this. At least definitely play through Blood Omen if I can. It's a bastard hard game. It's yeah, I'm curious to see how the Evercade fanbase handle that game, because it is ridiculously hard. I have finished it once in the past on the PS1. I don't know if I can still do it now, because I've been sort of like softened by modern games and how easy they tend to be. Even like stuff like Dark Souls now, if you put your like time into it, they're like well tuned enough that you can learn it and play it to a good degree. With these, like Legacy of Kain, it's just slow and plodding, and there's no dodging or anything. It is just, a lot of it is down to luck whether you live or die through a fight. So I don't know how modern people, at least, or people who've never played that before, will get on with it now. Soul Reaver, I know I can probably pick that up and just play through it, no problem. I've played through it so many times, 100% of it on the both the PlayStation and the Dreamcast, so I know I can just pick that straight up and get through it and just play through it again. And I'll no doubt play through it on this, and then again play through it on the remastered collection if it ever comes out physically, because it's just a 10 out of 10 game for me. It's one of my favourite games of all time. Blew me away when it first came out. On a side note, on the remasters, I really hope they re-release Blood Omen 2 and Defiance as well in another collection, because like they do with the Tomb Raiders, they released the first 3 and now they're releasing 4, 5 and 6. I hope they do like the Soul Reavers and then they do Blood Omen 2 and Defiance. They weren't received as well as the Soul Reaver games, but they're still, in my opinion, they're still fantastic games, and I still want to replay them in, looking a bit better. But yeah, that was as close to Game of the Year as an Evercade cartridge will ever get, I think, for me at least. The other cartridge they've come out with this time is the Bitmap Brothers collection on the it's on the Evercade, sorry, but it's mostly Amiga games. It's like a blue spine one, so it's classed as a computer collection, but I believe the version of Z, or is it Z, I don't know which, is actually the PS1 version. But yeah, it's got Magic Pockets, it's got Gods, it's got Chaos Engine 2, it's got Cadaver, what's the sort of expansion to Cadaver the Payoff, and Z or Z. Very, very strong lineup, especially, I love Magic Pockets. I loved most of these games as a kid. I didn't play Chaos Engine 2, but I played Chaos Engine 1 a lot, and it's same with Cadaver. I never played the Payoff, but I played the normal Cadaver. I didn't get very far in it. I don't think I really understood the game at the time, but I enjoyed what I played. Loved Chaos Engine, loved Gods, loved Magic Pockets, and although I've never been a big real-time strategy fan, I played Z or Z. I played it on the PC, and then I think I had a demo of it on the PS1 as well. And it was, it was as entertaining as it gets for a genre of game that I don't particularly like. So yeah, I did play Gods recently. The remaster that came out. I've got it on the Switch, and it's not aged very well at all. So we'll see how that goes. You can, on the Switch one, you can switch it back to like original graphics and gameplay, and it's not good. It's just very, very slow, and I think it's one of them ones where you've got to learn it. You can't just play it on instinct, you have to learn it, because if you don't start attacking the enemies before they're on screen, you are going to die, because you're that sort of sluggish and slow. But I might be tempted to give it a go. Right, on to the newer system stuff. I got this one, it was on like a sort of a third off or something on Amazon, so I thought, I might as well. I can't see it getting much cheaper than that for a physical release, because it's not like a AAA thing. And that is Karate Kid Street Rumble. I got this on the Switch. A little bit disappointing. I got it, because I'm on a mission to play as many beat 'em up games as I can, because I think it's the best genre, at least of retro games, and retro styled games. So yeah, more on that sort of coming up. I am going to turn that into a bit of a thing on YouTube, like me playing through these games, and not playing through them, just like, because some of them I won't be able to beat. Iron Commando, I'm looking at you. But, playing them and experiencing them and stuff, and I'm going to sort of bring that to YouTube coming soon, just like a little bit of sizzle. Anyway, Karate Kid Street Rumble. Bit of a disappointment, actually. It's just not very good, and it's part of this new crop of, like, since Turtles Shredder's Revenge came out, people seem to be snapping up, like, 80s and 90s sort of nostalgic franchises, and then making them into beat-em up, like 2D retro-style beat-em up games. And for the most part, it's looking fantastic. There's a Toxic Crusaders one coming out, there's a Power Rangers one coming out. We're still waiting for the Ghostbusters one. I've been saying this for a long time. Based on the real Ghostbusters cartoon, gameplay based on Alien Storm. I would absolutely kill for that game, but no one seems to snap that one up. Yeah, Karate Kid always seemed like a weird one for me, because I've not seen the films, but I'm pretty sure there's not a part in the film where you walk down a street and beat up 60 to 70 other men. As I've said before, it's not pizza in this one, it's like sushi and stuff, eating sushi out of a toxic waste can. Can't be good for old Daniel San, can it? But yeah, it's loosely based on the first 3 films. I think I've last night got to the end of the second film, judging by what I know of the films without watching them. Maybe it's because I don't have the nostalgia for it, but I'm really not finding a lot to like about this. The graphics, like the sprites and stuff, are drawn really well. They're really cool, like really well animated and really well drawn, but there's never more than a few enemies on screen at a time. The combat's just bland, the backgrounds are bland, the boss fights tend to be exactly the same. You just hit them a couple of times, then move out of the way while they do their attack and wait for them to stand still again, then hit them another couple of times and just rinse and repeat until they're dead. It's just a boring thing. The cutscenes are so sort of... they're just like still images with subtitles, but they're so badly drawn. It's like... oh, it's just horrific. So yeah, it's not fun. I mean, to put it into context, I got the digitally, so I can't show anything off, but I also got the Night Slashers remake for a princely sum of just over £2. I got it, I think it was reduced to like £4 on the Switch sale, and then I had £2 out of it for Switch points as well, so I got that, and that's been like widely slammed for being crap, and I had a lot more fun with that than I have with this, so yeah. Make of that what you will. It feels very low budget, put it that way, and there's not a lot really to draw me in. So I had a quick trip in to see X in Rotherham on the way to my mum's one day. I was looking for something, but they didn't have it, but I stumbled across a couple of bits that I liked the look of. Sorry, I've just got a loose disc floating around in one of the boxes. First thing was, because I was so like really into Power Wash Simulator, I noticed this on the shelf and thought I've got to have it. That's Lawn Mowing Simulator. I do love a ride-on mower, and yeah, it's also got, I don't know if it comes within the DLCs because there's no slip in there and it's obviously pre-owned, or if it's just on the disc, but it comes with the Dino Safari DLC, and I'm super into dinosaurs as well, so yeah. I've not played it yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be as relaxing and sort of satisfying as Power Wash Simulator. And the other thing I picked up on that trip was the Callisto Protocol, which, when it first was announced, I was like, I'm going to get that when it's cheap, and then I completely forgot it existed, and I think it was like £6 or something. It's basically sort of a spiritual successor to Dead Space, and Dead Space 1 was fantastic. Dead Space 2 was definitely a game that I played, and Dead Space 3 was just horrifying. It's just like, it was one of those games where it's like, the game's basically like, yeah, you can play single player, but you probably ought to play it multiplayer, and if you don't, we're just going to remind you that you should be playing multiplayer at all times. Having somebody there with you just completely took away from the feeling of dread and suspense that you felt from playing Dead Space 1, so, you know, it's like, you're never alone, it's never you against them, and it just fell flat for me. But yeah, this is supposed to be more of a sort of a feel of the first one, and yeah, I have a bit of a weird relationship with horror games. I'm not a horror guy. It's been a really crap month, October, for me. That's probably why I've not been interested in YouTube or Instagram, because everyone's just posting horror games all the time, and I honestly just don't care about them. So yeah, I don't really like horror, but I did like Dead Space 1, but it did scare the shit out of me. My wife also doesn't like scary stuff, so basically I think this is going to sit under my TV for about 25 years until I actually get around to playing it. But it is one that I wanted, and I'm sure when I do play it I will enjoy it. It just has to hit me in the right mood. But I will play it. The last Dark Pictures game still sat under my TV, not touched yet. The thing that I did go into CX for, and I couldn't find it, well I could find it but it was just a normal case, was basically I was playing Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, the PS4 version, and I was looking at the case, and it's one of these, like, where it's got an art book, but the back page of the art book is the game case. And I was also under the knowledge that the same thing could be said about Yakuza 6, which is, again, comes with an art book, back page of the art book, that's where the disc goes. So I was wondering if there was any more of these types of cases, because these two, apart from being similar themes, that's the Triads and that's the Yakuza. If you ask the Gebs, then, you know, they're the very similar games, even though they're absolutely not. But that's what she said in her video. there's a lot to be said for actually playing them. Yeah, anyway, I was wondering if there was any more of these games where the case is also the art book. Reached out to the TMB Hive Mind, as I want to do when I need to find things out. And the only one we could think of was Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I bought on the Xbox when it first came out, because it was Xbox exclusive for a start. I think I pretty much bought the Xbox to play this game. And I never actually got around to getting the 20-year celebration when it came out on the PS4. So yeah, I went to CX to find that, but I knew there was a copy in stock, but it was just a plastic case copy which I didn't even know existed. So yeah, I picked that up with the art book inside, off eBay actually, for a decent price. But when it came, I opened up the box and oh no, no disc. I have been in touch with the guy who sold it though, and he was mortified that there was no disc. And I think he said he was in the middle of a house move and he is looking for the disc. He did offer me a full refund and to let me keep the case. But I've said, if you can find the disc, I'd rather just have the disc, you know, which he said is fine. I'm still waiting to hear back from him for that. But, you know, if he can't find it, he is going to refund me the whole price, so I can just buy myself a disc-only copy and complete that. But, yeah, it's cool to have that. As far as I'm concerned, what we have now here, because this is the only one, these are the only ones I could find of this type of case. So for what I have here is a little bit of a subset complete, which is cool. It is a little bit dinged up on corners and stuff, this, but it's this kind of slipcase, you know, the ones where you go top to bottom, they do kind of do that. Yeah, a little bit of a subset complete. I don't know why, but I did find out when looking at other people's, like, who've got these games. I've commented before on the fact that this is a white spine with white text on it, so you can't actually read it. That's Yakuza 6, by the way. But I noticed Eddie's Roller Course, his copy's got a black spine with the white text on it, he can read perfectly. So I don't know why mine's white. I've no idea. That's another question for another day, I'm guessing. While we're on the subject of subsets as well, even though they're not related, I'm classing this and these two as their own little subset. So that's two sort of mini subsets completed. Right then, last but not least, this was a birthday present that I bought for my wife back in September, but it's only just come out yesterday. But we got ours on Wednesday, which was this yesterday at time of filming. I'm filming this on Friday just in case I don't get it up on the same day. The game came out yesterday, but we got it on Wednesday for because we're lucky little boys and girls. It finally came. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. She's been looking forward to this for a long time. It's been like 10 years since the last one came out, so she's been really looking forward to a new one coming out. Me, I didn't actually play the last Dragon Age game, Inquisition. It just looks boring to me, but this one looks a lot more interesting, and it looks sort of more appealing to me than stuff like Baldur's Gate 3 as well, because that to me looked a bit boring, a bit too sort of in depth. This seems a lot more action based. I'm enjoying. I've sat and watched a play for an hour or so yesterday morning maybe. Yeah, yesterday morning I think it was. And it did look quite entertaining to me, like quite enjoyable. I think I am going to drop in on this one if I don't have to play Inquisition to really understand it. Just looks a little bit more sort of action based, a little bit more hack and slash, and less about just sitting in a castle talking politics like the last one was, which honestly looks like the most boring thing in the world to me. But yeah, looks great. The graphics are friggin' incredible on it, and it just looks like a nice epic game. The only problem is I don't want to sit and play through it. It'd take me like 100 hours because ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, that's the last of my game pickups. The last thing is I did talk about it last time. I got the ROG, the Republic of Gamers Ally, the handheld PC, and I got like a little desktop setup in here. Sort of expanded on that. The little keyboard I was using wasn't responding very well. It was a little wireless one from Trust, and I'd had it a long time, and it just wasn't, you know, the key presses weren't doing very well. So I picked up another. It's also by Trust, but I picked up a gaming keyboard. It's got mechanical keys on it and stuff, so it's nice and tappy and clicky and satisfying to use. I've hooked that up. I've got I've got a permanent power cable in there now. I'm not using the charger that came with the system, so got my dock all sort of worked out. And underneath that, I've brought up the Smash Bros. Switch dock as well, so I can keep that hooked up here. So if I ever want to play my Switch up here, I can just bang it in. And there's the 8-bit Do controller, which is synced up to my Switch, so I can leave my Pro controller downstairs. I've also got a PS5 DualSense hooked up to the ROG Ally while I'm up here. It's all fun and games. So yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you again sometime. Bye.